Hey, this is Matt, and in today's video I have for you my April first place YCS LA deck profile. And of course, I played Labyrinth. So I'm going to showcase you my profile. I'm dropping this video now, so it's April 1st, Saturday, at about 6 in the morning. In a few hours, the tournament's going to start. And of course, it's a 2-day tournament where tomorrow will be the top cutoff with the eliminations. So before you all hear the news of me getting first place in the tournament on Sunday, I decide I'm going to drop the news on Friday with my deck profile. That way on Sunday, after I win, instead of having to film video, I can use Sunday to spend time on things that are more important, like prayer and God. So let's get into this deck profile. So we are playing 3 copies of most of the Labyrinth core. We have 3 copies of Lady Labyrinth. We have 3 copies of Ariana. This is your normal summon. She's great. You normal summon her. You attack into one of their sprite monsters. 1 copy of Ariane, the Labyrinth Servant. 3 copies of Ku Klok. 3 copies of Labyrinth Stowe Torby. 3 copies of Labyrinth Chandra Galir. And of course, 3 copies of the honorary Labyrinth card, Absolute King Backjack. These cards are absolutely insane. You definitely have to play 3 of each of them. Because you want to see as many copies in your opening hand as possible. Both the Stowe Torby and the Chandra Galir have similar effects. You send them from your hand to the graveyard to basically set Welcome Labyrinth from your deck to your field. Your Ku Klok lets you activate the card right away, and of course your Ariana and Ariane can search all these cards. Ariane can search Ariana can search all these, and then you have full board, and there's nothing that Castero or Sprite players can do about it. Next, we're playing 1 copy of the Labyrinth Field Spell. This card makes it so that all your Labyrinth Welcome Labyrinth spells will pop a card on your opponent's field, and of course, this can help you bring back all your Labyrinth monsters from the graveyard. 3 copies of Welcome Labyrinth, 3 copies of Big Welcome Labyrinth. These are super mandatory. These are the best cards in your deck, and of course, Ariana can search all of these. So you definitely want to play at this ratio. Next, we're playing 1 copy of Lovely Labyrinth. So this is the only brick in your entire deck. You never want to draw her. It really sucks if you draw her in your opening hand. So what you do is what I do tomorrow at the tournament is you just don't draw her. It's that simple. Now we have 1 copy of Called by the Grave. This card is amazing. Imagine you're going up against a branded player. They use branded in red. You chain Called by the Grave, target whatever their target is, and then you win the game. It's that simple. This card is amazing. This card is also good against Ash Blossom. So one of the weaknesses of this deck is that if they have Ash Blossom and they try to play it against one of your cards, well, first of all, you just ask them not to play the card. But if they do play the card anyway, you can just play this card, target their Ash, and then the card is gone. Next, we have 3 copies of Compulsory Evacuation Device. This card is amazing. It's not once per turn. You bounce a card, one of their monsters, back to their hand. 3 copies of Infinite Permanence. It's a normal trap. It's searchable off Lady. Obviously, you want to play this at 3. If you have Ku Klok, you can activate it immediately. This card is amazing. And yeah, you play this, you win the game. It's that simple. 3 copies of Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch. If you have a Fiend monster on your field, and by the way, all these monsters are Fiends, you destroy one of your opponent's cards, and then you send a Fiend from your deck to graveyard. And the Fiend you're always going to send from your deck to graveyard is going to be Absolute King Backjack. When he goes to the graveyard, you're going to be able to search, look at the top of your deck, excavate, and then you can banish him from the graveyard, set one of those cards onto your field, and you can use it immediately. And of course, the best card in the deck, 3 copies of Lost Wind. This card is amazing. It's like Imperm, but better, because not only does it permanently negate, so Imperm only negates your opponent's monster for 1 turn, whereas this negates them permanently. Also, this cuts their attack in half permanently. And after it goes to the graveyard, you can recycle this after they special summon a monster from their extra deck. So what you do is you set this, they normal summon Nimble Beaver. Let's say you're playing Sprite, they normal summon Nimble Beaver, or they normal summon a Luber. They activate their effect, you chain Lost Wind, you negate their monster, and then that's it. You just win the game. This goes to the graveyard, their attacks are halved. They have to end their turn, and the next turn this comes back to your graveyard, you can use it again. And since this is a normal trap, you can obviously trigger your Labyrinth effects off of it. So, yeah, very easy. And you might ask, what about evenly matched? What if your opponent has evenly matched? Does the evenly match blow out the deck if you're going first and your opponent's going second? Yeah, evenly matched could be a problem. But what you do is you just tell your opponent not to play it, and they won't. So It's that simple. For those of you who don't watch my channel, you know how much I love these cards and how highly impactful each of these cards are, and why you absolutely have to play 3 of them in your deck. No exceptions. Martian's Ghastly Glitch. Not only does it help you mill Backjack, and then you can immediately set, but also because of Lady, every trap that you set next to Coup Clock can be activated on the same turn. So it's that simple. These cards definitely won me so many games tomorrow. My record on Saturday was I went XO, undefeated, except I got 2 ties because 2 of my opponents were, I think one was a Drytron, the other was a Sprite. Sprite player, they just took so long on their turn, they ran out the clock, and it ended up being a tie. So no big deal, but I still made top cut on Sunday, even with that winning record, and then I went undefeated all the way through from top 32. Now let's get into the extra deck. So some of you might wonder, wait, where's Dogmatic Punishment? Why aren't you running Dogmatic Punishment? Isn't that card like really good in Labyrinth? Yes, however, because we're playing Kashtira, we're actually using a fake extra deck to trick our Kashtira opponents that we're playing a different deck. So for those of you who don't know, Kashtira runs number 89 Diablosis. Diablosis allows them to look at your extra deck, and based on what they see, they can banish some cards, and then they can do a full zone lock on your back row. So you don't want that to happen. Instead of running a card as useful as Dogmatic Punishment, instead we're going to be not running that card, and instead dedicating our extra deck to fooling our Kashtira opponents into about what deck we're playing. Because normally, you want the element of surprise on them. You don't want them to know what you're playing on the first game, but because Kashtira have that ability to look at your extra deck, they can figure out what you're playing. So this will make it so that they won't figure it out. So we're running a full Drytron extra deck here. So if you're a Drytron player out there and you're watching this video, this is the extra deck you want to play. 1 copy of Allurancy and Tis, it's for the Diviner of the Heralds. 1 copy of Herald the Arclight. 1 copy of Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. 2 copies of Drytron Mood Beta Fafnir. We have to run 2 copies because, again, you're against Kashtira. They can banish one of them, so you got to run 2 so that you can trick them that you're playing a Drytron deck rather than playing a Labyrinth deck. And then, of course, we have our Zeus package. 1 copy of Lureless Assembled Nightingale, Downer Magician, and Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. And then our Link monsters, 1 copy of Linkuriboh, Nightmare Phoenix, IP Masquerena, Nightmare or Unicorn, Appaloosa, Borosaur Dragon, and of course, Access Code Talker. So this is our Drytron extra deck. So they're gonna look at our extra deck and they'll be confused why we're playing Drytron in 2023, and then they won't know what to do against you. So they'll set up a suboptimal board that does nothing against Drytron, and then you'll hit them on your turn by revealing that, oh, I'm actually playing Labyrinth. One cool little thing about this extra deck, it's not, even though it is a fake extra deck, we can utilize the Zeus package because Absolute King Backjack, first of all, is a level 1 monster. You can link this off in Linkuriboh, and 2 of these connect C's into Assemble Nightingale. This is for when you're going second. 2 of these make Assemble Nightingale, overlay, attack them directly, overlay into Downer Magician, then overlay into Zeus, and then you have a 4 material Zeus. So this won me 5 games on Sunday. It's absolutely cracked. Like even though this is a fake extra deck, you can still utilize this package. All right, so let's get into the side deck. So I am revealing my whole deck, before the tournament even begins, and the reason I'm doing this is because Labyrinth is the best deck, and since my version of Labyrinth is the absolute best build possible, the only way that the tournament today and tomorrow will be fair is if you guys all see what my deck is before the tournament begins. So I'm okay revealing all this on Saturday. So let's get on the side deck. We have 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Yeah, we sided Ash Blossom because, well, first of all, she's obviously the best hand trap. For those of you who watch my video, you know how insane this card is and how much I love this card. Sometimes when you're side decking between game 2 and 3, you really think, let's say you're going second, you really think, what possible card should I side into my opponent? What is the one thing missing in my deck that's preventing me from beating them? And the answer is Ash Blossom, a card that will stop them from searching 1 card from their deck. So this is exactly the card that will completely turn the game around if you're losing and going into game 2 or 3. 3 copies of Gamma Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju. So this is the weakest Kaiju. Sometimes you want to distribute over their monsters if you're going second to get rid of their boss monsters. And then all you have to do is deal with a 2200 attack, 3000 defense monster, and it's no big deal. We have 3 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance. This card prevents your opponent from playing spell cards for 1 turn. So instead of playing Branded Fusion on turn 1, they have to play it on turn 2. And then what are they going to do? Like, they have to wait a whole turn before they can play out their full combo. That's what this card does for you. So yeah, when you're going first, you're siding in, you decide, oh, what card should I put into the main deck? If you're against Branded, you're against Runic, and you don't want them activating cards on spell cards on their first turn, and only want them activating spell cards on their second turn, then this is the card that you want to put in. 3 copies of Summon Limit, of course. Kashtira have no way to out this. They summon 2 bodies, so this makes it so that each player can only summon 2 monsters. Kashtira need to summon at least 3 monsters to do anything. They summon Unicorn, they summon Fenrir, and then you flip Summon Limit on them, and then they can't summon anymore. Like, what are they gonna do? They just scoop, right? Like, that's the only option they have. Kashtira have no way to out this card. And of course, we have 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. Sometimes when you're going first and your opponent wants to play evenly matched against you, you ask them not to, but some of them try to anyway. This card can stop evenly matched. You set it going first, and then so even if they insist on evenly matching, you just flip this, and then it cancels their evenly matched card. So yeah, this side deck is absolutely cracked. So all these cards here for going first, and these cards here for going second. This will cover all your needs. This card will stop your opponent from searching 1 card, and this card will remove 1 of their monsters. And you just have to deal with you remove 1 of their monsters, you give them this monster, and then you have to deal with this monster plus whatever other monsters they have. So yeah, you just break their board completely. These cards specifically won me so many games during the Swiss round. At least like three games later today, single-handedly. Also, some of you may be asking, what about some of the other cards that counter Labyrinth? For example, Denko Sekka. What happens if they normal summon Denko Sekka and then you can't set any of your traps? Well, that's easy. All you have to do is normal summon Ariana, use Ariana effect to summon Ariana from the deck, and then even though this is a Drytron Extra deck, you can link these off for Nightmare Phoenix. Nightmare Phoenix has 1900 attacks over Denko Sekka. GG. All you have to do is discard a card. You have the discard a card for Everhurt effect. You have the discard a card for Nightmare Phoenix effect. You destroy their Denko Sekka, and then you can set the remaining cards in your hand. So there you have it. Obviously, I'll be doing interviews after my first place finish, where I'm going to showcase my deck profile again. But you viewers and subscribers of mine get a first look, and you get to see my first place, my April 1st place deck before everyone else. So consider yourselves lucky. So shouldn't have any issues with any other deck matchups. Labyrinth is obviously the best deck. I'd say the toughest matchups I had was against other Labyrinth players, but other Labyrinth players didn't have deck builds anywhere near as good as mine, so it ended up not mattering. So yeah, so took place the first place finish. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned something. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.